Hello, and welcome.
Hello.
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 I like to say from the beginning, I apologize for my voice. I don't know what's going on, but
And I apologize for my face.
damn. But yeah, welcome. This is episode 11 of the NgoVo Convo podcast, where two stupids make it hype.
Make L right?
It's hype this week. It's always hype.
Yeah, you're right.
It's hype this week.
You're right.
But I'm one of your hosts, Harrison Hill, and I'm joined by Veronica Vo.
Hello.
Hello. And if you're here, we both just want an excuse to talk about anything that ranges from animated comics. Some would say conversing.
Like NgoVo Convo.
Oh, man. I get compliments on that now, too, actually. Wow, that is catchy. I'm like, thank you. Took
It
us
is
a bit.
catchy.
Took us a bit.
It took
But-
us a while.
Too long. It's okay. But you can watch every episode on youtube.com or listen to it as a podcast by searching up NgoVo Convo on your podcast service of choice. Veronica, this week, we're starting something different. One,
We are.
we're actually going to be weekly. Well, no, we just had stuff going on, so we had to like pre-record a good amount. You guys could probably tell sometimes. But why are we weekly, Veronica? You have any idea? Or you know what?
I don't know. Maybe you should introduce this idea.
Am I trying to not talk so much? Who knows?
Who knows?
But on this episode, we're going to start actually reacting to Marvel's Loki. God damn it. Oh. But so because of that, we're actually going to start doing it weekly reacts for a bit. So these will probably be a little bit shorter than what we're usually doing. But maybe that's, maybe people want that. I don't know. We're gauging like what we should do, how we should go about it. But again, for Loki, if you haven't finished the series, or I guess the first episode, if you haven't started, that's weird. If you haven't started and watched episode 1 on disneyplus, mooch it off someone, or even if you have it, go watch it now. Come back, listen to us
later. Or weekly.
but definitely come back
Yeah.
and listen to us.
Subscribe.
Nice. But yeah, Veronica. Oh, and of course, spoiler warning, because it's episode 1. It's one episode. You got it. I believe.
There's no spoiler edit as usual. That's our brand.
One day.
Well, one day. We'll get
One day.
there. One day.
Veronica,
Harrison,
what you think of Loki episode 1?
I thought it was fantastic. I think this was like one of the most anticipated shows that I've been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Loki's kind of like this misunderstood character.
And fan favorite?
And fan favorite because of Tom.
Like legit. Yeah.
Yeah, because of Tom. The other Tom, not Spider-Man Tom, but Loki Tom. Both are fan favorites, but I have to make sure that the right Tom is being served correctly in this podcast. So I was really excited about that. I think, as always, I know Marvel's formula. It's just like they tie everything back to a movie, and then they kind of dive into the character itself, kind of build the world, because, that's kind of how WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier kind of happened, so I was expecting that, and I definitely got that. I didn't want to, like, over-theorize or anything, because what happened to WandaVision was just, after, seeing all the everything on social media happening, and now since we're doing real, like, weekly reactions, I didn't want to pressure myself into making something that wasn't gonna maybe not happen.
Yeah.
So episode 1, I was like, okay, let's go in, let's see Tom, let's see Loki, that's it.
Yeah.
How about you?
Like you, I was super excited to see it, just because like it's like one of those, we're in that stage of Marvel where I can have an idea of what they're doing, but right now we don't know what the goal is. But I think watching more of this stuff, like, okay, watching WandaVision and then watching this and then knowing what movies are gonna come out, I have an idea. It's just cool to like see like, oh, they have plans. But for the show, for episode 1, oh, it's great. Yeah, I love how they have the throwback. I love how like they like put essentially like drop you back into where it's like it is last time on.
Yeah, it was like last time. This is where Loki was.
And then it's just like, yeah, no, it's just I love the style. I love like the setting that they're going for. It's just really cool to see. It took me the longest time to realize Mobius was Owen Wilson.
Oh, really?
Because like I was like I remember
you probably didn't
seeing the
recognize
cast,
because of the stash
and hair, and like, I was just like,
yeah.
and yeah, I don't know why. But I sat there and like, this guy sounds familiar.
He's more serious. He's a
But he's
little
more
bit
serious,
more
yeah.
serious. Yeah.
Excuse me, but yeah. So overall, I thought it was like it caught my attention. I came in with questions. I came out with more questions, but I think in like a good
answered.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're gonna definitely. It hooked. The episode 1 hooked me. I thought it was really cool.
And
with
just
that,
to add,
yeah.
Marvel, they like cared for this show. Not saying that they didn't care about the other 2 shows, but they like really took care of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt pretty packed, actually, because it was like 50 minutes or so, like almost an hour. But
it was 51 minutes, but only around 42 minutes of like actual show time. Because you know Marvel and their 10-minute credits.
But okay, so what popped out for you, actually?
You know what really popped out was, okay, so I don't know if you caught this, but the Easter egg of Peggy Carter.
No, what? Where?
Oh. So it's towards the end of the episode. I think there was like 24 minutes left, so you can like go back and see.
Yeah.
There is like 4 minutes left because he escaped the room that he was like held in. And I was like looking at Loki, and then I was like, as always, I'm looking for Easter eggs. And you see in the back, it's like an agent, a time variant authority agent, and Peggy coming through. Like they cut open that weird thing, and then like she's like walking through with an agent. And in my head, I was like, oh, Steve and Peggy got in trouble. Because remember, Steve went back in time, messed up with time, and now Peggy has to deal with it. So that was the one Easter egg that really caught my attention, because Steve messed up with time, and so now Peggy has to deal with it.
but then they said, I guess. Yeah.
They both got in trouble. I think they both got in trouble. You just see Peggy though in this like little Easter egg.
Okay.
So that's
I need to go back and check that out.
Yeah, you need to check that out. The other thing was the Infinity Stones were paperweights in this like area.
Yeah. Like, we're gonna unpack that one.
Yeah.
Like, I researched this shit after. I was so curious. I was like, wait, they're paperweights, but why?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the other thing that really caught my attention was that, like, you've always noticed that Loki's, like, the villain. But you never notice how he only wanted to, like, be loved. And that the villain was their dad. Because he was loved by Thor later on. And his mom has always loved him. But his dad was the one that, like, didn't think about him as, like, a person. If you get my drift. He was the adopted one, too. I get that he's adopted, but I mean, like, you should love all your kids the same, adopted or not. So it was really interesting to see that Loki wasn't, like, the actual villain. Like, all he wanted to do was, like, just be loved by his family. The cruel part was that he watched himself die. I was like, oh, I didn't know that neck crack was, like, really predominant in the movie. I was like, oh.
I don't remember it, but I think everyone screamed, and every time I think I'm just shocked by it every time I watched it. And I don't know, what if they just upped the sound and just like amplified, like, hey, neck crack.
Yeah, because they didn't show the scene. They like you could hear it, and then you just see Loki's reaction. I was like, that's not. Was that loud in the movie? Was I overreacting? Like, it was crazy.
Man.
But yeah, those are all the things that caught my attention.
Right. Yeah. So going back to the Infinity Stones, I thought that was cool because like the idea of they don't work, and I only bring it up again because I think one of my friends asked me, it's like, how does that work? Like, as in like, how is there so many, and then why do they just not work like there? Yeah, like because he thought it was just there, but if you go by comics, Infinity Stones are tied to their universe. So those, like, now we were touching multi-dimension. Okay, and then here's the other thing. They're talking timeline, but then there's the version. I was like, well, now we could talk about like multiverse. Like that's technically a multiverse in it itself. I was like, man, it's gonna get freaking wonky because
there were like 2 soul stones in there.
Yeah.
And like
they're all shaped differently,
or
like
shaped differently.
But so like I think just a quick thing from what I've been looking into, my understanding is most Infinity Stones do not work outside their universe. So now we don't know. I think they had to establish a bit more, but they don't work because, like they're saying that it could be in the TVA, the Time Variant Agent. What is it? Time Variant Agency?
Authority.
That's what it is. Time Variant Authority. At first I thought, I was like, oh, maybe that's why. But why is there so many? Because now there's variants, and then like, and I was like, oh, they're touching on multiverse shenanigans, and I'm like, the quick like for my quick understanding, going back to that, is that they don't work outside the universe, so that's why there or anywhere. If someone were to bring it like into someone else's universe, those stones would still not work. It has to be from that. Which is why I think someone was like, okay, so why does this, if that's the logic, because I think the time is the weird part. Dealing with time is just,
it's always weird. Like it's never like you're never right or wrong. It's just weird.
Because then my friend was like, well, then why does it work to where Captain America brought those stones, or they brought those stones out from different time periods and then used it. I'm like, because technically I think
it's in that timeline.
It's in that timeline.
Yeah.
It's still in that universe, and it still works. If they were to like in an alternate universe where like Cap was bad, for instance, like they wouldn't be able to use it in that universe.
Yeah, and he wouldn't be able to capture them.
Yeah.
Like probably vice versa too.
Right. And I think the reason why I keep saying multiverse now or universe now is because we're definitely going towards that.
They even said it. There was like a little title thing that said multiverse.
Yeah.
We're going like there.
Dude, even in there, like when what's her face? Miss Minutes was explaining in the video. She's like, oh, if the multiverse like deviates so far, it would become madness. I was like, or something like that, right? And I'm like, Doctor Strange multiverse of oh my god, it's tied together. Oh my gosh. I think that was like just seeing that, it's like it led to like all this other stuff. I'm like, oh my god, there's so much coming from that freaking reveal.
I know, right? And to think that they don't even work in this space where time is weird. Time is so weird in this area. And it's just, I was just like, wow, mind blown.
The aesthetics of like just the office setting essentially is like, or it feels like I don't want to say like the wrong time, like it's like 80s or I don't know at this point.
It feels futuristic a little bit.
Yeah, it feels futuristic, but then not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
which I think is such a cool thing, because once you walk out, that entire place is like, whoa.
It's like, whoa,
this is cool. This is the budget. No, but I get what you mean though. Like they really, I feel like in this one they put, this has like more of a Marvel feel.
Oh yeah.
If you get what I mean.
They took care of this little show. Like in
just the show, like there's so much like wondering questions and like what they're setting up, and it's just so cool. I just love how they introduced, like, because this Loki technically at that point is bad. Technically, it's like he didn't go through the, but I love how they just kind of sped it up. I was worried how they'd handle that, but they did just speed it up, and it's like, hey, here's your life, and then he's just like, okay. I think some people will probably be like, no, that's not realistic, but I was like, no, if you see yourself die, I would
want to change too.
I would change too. Like in that moment, I was like, if I know I'm gonna die, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do things differently somewhat.
Yeah.
Okay, thoughts on this last part, on one part. Do you think that's actually Loki at the end?
You know who I think that is? I think that's the female version of him. Because, you know, in the comics, there are different versions of him. Or, yeah, Loki itself.
There's different.
So there's like a baby, there's a female version, there's even a twin version too.
There's a kid Loki too.
Yeah.
It's like this weird, like, I had to like look it up because I remember seeing comics coming out for this. I remember seeing the issues, and I'm like, it was this weird thing, but I didn't. So yeah, it was just like, if you're interested, I can't remember the guy I was like watching because I needed to jog my memory. But yeah, it was like the female, then becomes the kid, then they either baby, kid, and then there's a teen, but then there's like that version. I forget what his name is, but
yeah, there's a
I know
twin
which one you're
version too. Yeah, I think this one's the female version.
It could be, yeah. That'd be a twist.
That would be a twist. But I think the twist was, since we're talking about the hooded person, is that this Loki has to chase Loki himself. Like, Mobius was like, yeah, we're gonna hunt you down.
Yeah.
He said it so casually too. He was like,
yeah. Who's the guy?
You.
It's you. I was like this is like that. It has like that. If this plays out right, Mobius and Loki is like that buddy cop thing I didn't expect, but I think I love a lot.
Oh yeah, I think they're Mobius is like the comedic relief that Loki needs.
Yeah. And I think they did a lot. This episode shows a lot how Marvel balances comedy pretty well.
Oh yeah.
And like, because they just, like, time is also something you can just have fun with too. Like, they keep like having like to where, like, to control people, we put on the collar and we can just like essentially rewind. Yeah, press a button, rewind. That's so funny.
Man. When he was messing with the agent Loki, when he was trying to escape, and he took the collar off of himself and put it on that agent, and he just kept playing with it. And she goes, "Stop messing with this!" And you could like see her just like flashing up, like back and forth. It was so funny.
That's so good.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
So what'd you think about that Thor Loki bet?
I was just about to talk about that too. I was like, I love how I was so confused at that point. I was like, what's going on? And then I was like, wait, Loki is the DB Cooper.
Yes, Loki is DB Cooper.
It's like, wait, you were Cooper? I think that's so funny how like they can like show back then. It's like, oh, they probably messed with like humans for so long actually, as like for the fun of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For anyone who doesn't know about DB Cooper, I have it popped up here. He was a guy in the early 70s, 1971 to be specific. He collected a ransom of like $200K because he hijacked a Boeing 727. And he did the ransom. He took 4 parachutes. He leaped out. No one ever knows. It's a 45-year-long FBI investigation, and he just disappeared. Zipped out. So as of today, that $200K is equivalent to $1.28 million today. So that is so Loki is DB Cooper because he disappeared.
Because he's just
No, because he's Tom. That's
he's Tom now, that's right.
Yeah, he's Tom.
I also appreciate that as bad as Thor 2 was, it was actually a very important movie for Loki. Yes.
It was.
Like, Thor 2 was a very... I have God. No.
It was poorly made, but you could tell that it was for Loki, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was for Loki and to just get the Infinity Stone.
Yep.
That really was all it was
Basically.
That's what it felt like. But I think it really did suck to see it again, to where like it's like, oh, you killed your mom. I was like, oh, you know what? I didn't hear. I saw it. I remember seeing it. I was like, yeah. Loki did it. But I don't think you ever hear anyone say like, you killed your mom.
I know, because like you could see it, and the dialogue was said but you don't really think about it, right? And then when someone actually says, like, Loki, kill your mom, and you rewatch that scene that they, like, propped up, you're like, oh, he really actually did kill his mom.
Yeah. And like you said, Marvel is so good about, it is definitely like a way for us to, like, it's a helpful reminder for us that saw the movie years ago, or just people that haven't seen. Like, I feel like we've hit that point that, like, you probably don't have to watch any of this stuff, but it'd probably be helpful. You know what
preferred.
I mean? It's preferred. It's preferred reading.
Yeah.
It's preferred watching now.
It's preferred watching.
And it's just like, it's just so cool. But it's also just great that, like, it's been a while. Like, I remember bits and pieces of it, but, like, for some of those movies, I, like, watched once, maybe twice.
Or you watch, like, random clips on YouTube, but you just don't remember, like, the whole movie itself. Yeah. Exactly.
So, man, I had so much fun with this. I thought it was great. I can't wait to see more of it.
Oh, right? I agree.
Oh, man. Let me see. I think I had my notes again are like scattered because I'm just like legitimate like live reacting.
I saw your notes, and I was like, wow, there were 2 different types of people. Because if you go into mine, I'm just like, bullet points, and here are the important names and stuff that I don't forget. And I see his, and it's just like question mark, question mark, question mark.
It's like my live reactions in note form. It's like Agent Mobius question mark. Who's this? Interrogates, I think.
Devil question mark, Loki question mark.
Oh, because at the time I was like, Devil, is that a reference to oh my god, oh my gosh, I can't remember the vampire thing, the vampire movie that they're gonna do. Hold on, this is important. I'm gonna type this really quick, man.
Yes. As you can tell, we're still the same people that don't know names.
No, okay, no. This is why it's confusing. It's Morbius. That's why I was like Morbius, and then
it did look like
that's
Morbius.
Okay, that's why I was like, right. I'm confused now. But because but it's also this is also just me reading because I'm so we don't want to set expectations, but it's really fun for us. This is the whole reason why we don't want to do it, just to like look into like
Google
theories.
Everything,
like Google, see what's up,
what's on social media.
Yeah. Because, like, when you see that devil, the thing is, someone was like, oh, it's technically, he points to it because it could be Loki because it's the horns.
Oh, the horns. Yeah. So because like, he has the gold horns, too, like flip up.
So it's like, oh, it could be the helmet. I'm like, oh. But they also confirm, like, the vampire Morbius, it has no, like, tie-ins at all.
Yeah.
For this.
Okay.
So.
Interesting.
Anyway, but I thought that was, like, another cool thing. No, yeah, I think it was just fun. I was like, I love the setting, the style, like the theme.
The comedy. It's a pretty well balanced.
It's well balanced in this one.
Show. Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes because I think it's 6 episodes.
It is 6 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's this trend because I think Wanda just happened to have 8.
Yeah. They extended Wanda almost last minute.
Yeah, that's what
almost. Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I can't wait for more. You got anything else? Like last minute?
I don't. I'm excited to see Loki in action. I've missed that man just throwing shit.
I'm so glad that they brought him back, but it's also like now I'm like, what could this like? How does this affect the multiverse at this point?
And where does he end at episode 6? That's what I'm most scared of.
Yeah.
Because Tom's contract ends after this. For now, is the huge rumor that he ends it right here.
Dang.
Just for a little bit. Just for a little bit.
We don't know.
Yeah. So everyone's like, this is his last thing for Loki, yada yada yada. But think about it. There's Lore, Love, and Thunder in 2 years, or next year actually. 2022.
Yeah. I heard you say Lore, Love, and Thunder. I was like, Thor? But it just got anyway.
Oh yeah, you know. Hearing's hard.
Who knows?
It's okay.
Yeah, who knows? Existing is hard.
Existing's hard. Words are hard. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
At the end of
I can't wait. I can't wait to see more.
Me too.
You can't wait to see more. And you guys will see more of this for like the next
us
2 months at this rate. Or 1.5. Yeah,
One and a
six
half.
episodes at this point.
Yeah.
So, but we have other things planned. But if you guys like this style, let us know. Maybe we could do like multiple things. We'll see. We'll see.
An anime
We're
version,
gauging.
maybe.
An anime version, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
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 But on that note, do you have anything else, or am I good
I
to
do
wrap
not.
up at
Oh,
this
there's
point?
no end credit too. So
There is not.
you're
Well,
safe on that.
Wait, the end credit was the Loki reveal, wasn't it?
Like like you know
The
how
very yeah.
like the end, like the credits
Oh,
within
okay.
within the credits.
Yeah.
I just called
Yeah,
them. There's no end credits.
Yeah. Okay, I get you. Okay.
I mean, if you're this far, you should already know that there are no end credits. But if you're listening to us first and then watching it, then
Heads up.
heads up.
No need to scroll.
Yeah,
and
no
wait.
need to scroll. Yeah.
But on that note, thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram at NgoVo Convo. We're kind of slow with stuff right now, but it's mainly just because we were prepping for this. We'll have more. We'll have more stuff. But if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button and
the bell.
subscribe. Oh, and the bell notification to get
Notification.
bell icon to get. We'll fix that.
We'll fix it.
But other than that, let us know how we're doing, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see next. And bye-bye.
Bye. Wow.